On a frosty December night, a child stood at his bedroom window, gazing in wonder at the celestial tapestry above. Enchanted by the radiant glow of the North Star, the queen of the night sky, the child harbored a secret wish, one he'd never shared with another soul.
I wish for a place of enchantment, a place where children from 0 to 1,000 years old are united, where each day feels like Christmas.
The star, touched by such a beautiful and pure wish, decided to make it come true by sending a tiny fragment of its light down to Earth. That little piece came to life, becoming Lucy, a brand new little star. Right where Lucy touched the Earth, as if by magic, a magnificent castle began to spring to life, with numerous towers, lights, and colors. The Kingdom of Santa Claus was born. An enchanted place where all the inhabitants were dedicated to spreading happiness and love throughout the world. Lucy quickly made friends with everyone, although she sometimes missed being in the sky. But in the kingdom, she was happy, for she had found a true family. Each one had a special role, and Santa Claus, a jolly man with a long white beard, carefully oversaw that everything operated at its best. Lucy's magical light nourished the spirit of Christmas, which was the lifeblood of the kingdom, and it enabled them to touch the hearts of every child. As the years passed, the Kingdom of Santa Claus grew ever larger, and the tasks at hand multiplied. The traditions of gift-giving and decorating were at risk of being reduced to just fashionable trends. One day, while Buddy, the 100% elf, was meticulously painting a wooden toy horse, he noticed something amiss. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but he felt more tired than usual. Just then, Lucy happened to pass by. He observed her closely and noticed that she appeared less radiant than usual. He rubbed his eyes and thought,
It's probably just fatigue.
And didn't dwell on it further. A few days passed, and Lucy was helping Pretty the elf to place some ornaments on the Christmas tree. But her friend was feeling a bit weary, so Lucy took it upon herself to position the decorations on the highest branches. As she was arranging the last ornament, her head began to spin. Everything started to swirl, and she toppled backward. Thankfully, Lampo was nearby and caught her before she touched the ground.
What's happening, Lucy?
Pretty asked with deep concern.
I don't know. To be honest, I'm not feeling very well either,
Lucy replied.
Lucy, your light, it's fading.
Lampo said, his voice trembling. The two friends carried Lucy to her room and let her rest. Meanwhile, they informed all the inhabitants of the kingdom and organized an emergency meeting. Indeed, not only was Lucy's light fading, but other strange things were happening in the Kingdom of Santa Claus. Everyone felt extremely tired and out of sorts, as if their energy was dwindling. The machinery was breaking down more frequently, colors appeared duller, and the lights grew dimmer. What on earth was happening? Santa Claus himself, who offered an explanation to this perplexing situation. With a heavy heart and downcast eyes, he said,
My dear friends, I had hoped this day would never come. Our Lucy has been away from the heavens for too long. Her light, which drew its energy from the other stars in the universe, is now dwindling, and with it, the magic of Christmas.
Is there anything we can do?
They all asked in a united chorus.
I'm not sure. I've conducted numerous searches, but simply, I don't know how to make our Lucy shine brightly again.
Santa replied. At his words, a heavy silence fell upon them all. They were deeply concerned about the fate of their little star, but they refused to give up. Each of them began to propose solutions, to help her feel better. Steve, the candy cane, believed that a refreshment would surely help Lucy. So he took her to the room in the castle where the polar bears and a beautiful frozen waterfall were located. At first, Lucy seemed to improve, but then her light began to dim once more. So Henry, the nutcracker, suggested taking her to the room filled with colorful lights, thinking that being in contact with more light might help. Unfortunately, even this idea didn't work. At that point, Rudy chimed in, saying,
Whenever I'm feeling down and low on energy, I always have a sweet treat.
Lampo felt compelled to add,
You have them even when you're not feeling down.
Rudy simply shrugged and began preparing a delicious cake. Lampo decided to stand guard to ensure Rudy didn't eat it all. The little star enjoyed a sizable slice of cake. But once it was finished, she didn't feel any better. Buddy and Pretty, the 100% elves, then decided to prepare a gift for Lucy, thinking that receiving a present might resolve the situation. They gifted her a beautiful evening gown. Lucy smiled as she unwrapped the package, and for a brief moment she lit up, but her light dimmed almost immediately. Unfortunately, none of the ideas had worked, and everyone was very sad and worried. They were at a loss for what to do. Pretty approached Lucy and hugged her tightly, a small tear streaking down her face. Santa Claus watched his friends suffer in sadness, knowing that the magic of Christmas had nearly faded away.
You're getting it all wrong!
Grumbled Dr. Krampy, who had been silently observing the scene with amusement until then.
You're paying more attention to the things than their meaning. Things without meaning are just things.
In that very moment, Santa Claus had a revelation. He stood up abruptly and said,
My friends, what does Christmas mean to you?
His words left everyone perplexed, but he persisted and asked the question again.
My friends, what does Christmas mean to you?
Friendship,
Said Lucy.
being together, laughter, food.
Rudy exclaimed, earning a stern look from Lampo, who quickly added,
Feeling fitter than ever.
The falling snow, the colorful lights, the Christmas tree, happiness.
Steve chimed in.
Goodness. Generosity.
Henry continued.
Family and love.
Pretty said, glancing at a shy buddy who instantly blushed. As they each spoke, without realizing it, they formed a circle and held hands. Lucy's light began to shine once again, growing brighter and warming the hearts of all the inhabitants of the Kingdom of Santa Claus. They had just learned that it's the deep values that keep the light of Christmas alive, and that without them, the world would lose all its colors. Filled with newfound energy, Lucy leaped onto the castle, radiating a light even brighter than before. The magic of Christmas had returned.